And we are live. Happy day after Thanksgiving, Lions fans. We couldn't record yesterday, and I guess it was good because we needed some time to process what was going on. But our Detroit Lions fall short to the Buffalo Bills at home in a very close game, a game that they could have won. Son, what is your takeaway from the game?
Man, well, my first takeaway would be that they fought really hard out there. So I'm proud of them for that. They really fought to the end, like they have for most of the games throughout the year, except for just a few. Um, like for the past about 4 weeks, the defense has been they've been making major progressions. Honestly, I think they've held the Bills to some of the least amount of points they've scored in the past 6 weeks. But I know it could also be because of Josh Allen's injury. I also like how they held down Stephon Diggs for most of the game, except for basically the last 5 minutes of the game. It was either Will Harris or C.J. Moore that started getting cooked for the touchdown. Um, but other than that, I thought they looked pretty good. I mean, uh, yeah, Jared Goff looked. He was a game manager like usual. So
I would have to agree with that. Looking at some of these highlights, they come down the field and they score in the first quarter, kind of like they've been doing on most of their possessions, and then they just kind of let the teams back in the game. It seems to be the issue. Let's talk about the issues. They lose by 3 points. Let's start with the defense first. What did you see about the defense that you like? Give me your pros and cons on what you liked about the defense.
yeah, like we just saw right there, the defense has been playing extremely aggressive, and them boys have really been they've really been hitting. So I like that I've been trying. I feel like they've been trying to make Josh Allen and quarterbacks think about running up the middle and stuff. I mean, granted, he still did it because he's a big boy, but I just like how they've been hitting out there. Um, Honestly, I thought the defense looked pretty sharp. I think they only had one penalty. I don't think they had any pass interferences. I know the main penalty was it James Houston at the end of the game with the roughing the quarterback. But other than that, I thought the defense looked pretty good. Other than the corners getting cooked at the end of the game. But to be honest, they game plan Stephon Diggs pretty good. He, in the first half, he only had 12 reception or 12 reception yards.
Yeah, it was Austin Bryan who had that roughing the passer at the end of the game. I would say that the defense, played pretty good, but we're looking at these highlights. Something that we have been talking about. It is very clear to me that the Lions are still down a corner. I think that they need another. Now, granted, the corners held their own without Jeff Okuda out there, but I still think that the Lions are down a corner because you saw Will Harris get burned for that touchdown that we just saw about a minute ago. And Amani is still not looking like the guy that we saw in 2021, the guy that we thought was going to turn the corner. Right here, first and 10. Josh Allen, we know that he can run. There's nobody in the middle of the field to stop him, which sometimes falls on the linebackers. I still think that and here's a touchdown play right here. Fumbled the snap up the middle. Bang. I mean, almost barely got touched. I still think that our boys are another corner and at least a fast linebacker away, a linebacker who can spy and hold these quarterbacks in the pocket and who can also cover tight ends in the middle of the field. But overall, I thought that the defense did okay. I thought that they did the best that they could do. I still think that some of it falls on the offense to keep the defense off the field. So let's move to the offense. Let's talk about the pros and the cons with the offense. What you got?
So the good news, Jared Goff did he looked pretty sharp for the most part. I think he threw 2 touchdowns. I know one of them was to DJ Chark. I really like that pass. I know he talked about in the press conference how they've been running that play all the time in practice, and he said that he noticed that the backside was always open. Other than that, I'm getting really frustrated with the Lions not using DJ Chark, or I'm getting really frustrated with the Lions not using running back DeAndre Swift. I mean, as you can see, he ran extremely hard on this play right here. And ever since this play, I really didn't see him that much. I mean, the Lions were just being really antsy here. They kept trying to get him the ball. And this is where they messed up with the clock management. This is what I think they were trying to do. DeAndre Swift was supposed to get that touchdown. I think they wanted to get him another one really bad. So they called the play very fast. And in my opinion, I don't think that was a good call. I understood that Coach Campbell said that they were trying to score quick, get a stop, and then score again. I don't know. I don't know why he thought they were going to be able to get a quick stop on the Bills, but I don't know. So, but for the most part, I thought the offense looked pretty good. They just have to execute plays when it really matters, like the Bills did at the end of the game.
Have to agree with you on the clock management. That makes a lot of sense. When Coach, I did not. You just told me something new. I didn't know that Coach said that they were trying to score real quick, get a stop, and score again. Not against Josh Allen, not against the Buffalo Bills. That's not the type of team that you can do that with. And listen, I'm not trying to talk down on other NFL teams, but if this is next week at home against the Jags, if this is at the Panthers, and you're trying to do something like that to kind of put the nail on them, that's fine, but not against a team that has an explosive offense and a quarterback who can throw, who can move with his legs, and who can get down the field. That is not the proper strategy. What the strategy should have been was run the what the strategy should have been was run the clock down and basically get to halftime with the lead. That's what I thought it should have been. Get to halftime with the lead. And I know a lot of people felt like that was probably the play that was going to come back to hunt the Lions right here, 17-14, when the score could have been 14-14 coming into the second half. My thoughts on the offense are I do think that Jared Goff played well, as we're going to see in a little bit in the fourth quarter. When it comes down to it, was it him? Was it DJ Chark that missed that play? But I think part of the issue is right there. There's Will Harris again, and I like Will Harris, but look at that. That's another big play that our defense is giving up. We have to have some corners who can recognize plays, get there fast, and stop big plays like that from happening. I'm sorry, Jerry, but that was pass interference. I mean, his right arm was wrapped all around the guy on this play right here. But we need to get some corners that can match up with Okuda, that can match up against another team's number 2 and number 3 receivers and hold them down. I still think that the biggest issue, that was a great interception right there. I still think one of the biggest issues is the running game. You are correct when you said that DeAndre Swift has not been in the game for whatever reason. We don't know, but it's time to let him loose. He either can play or he can't. I no more play counts. The man can either play or he can't. He needs to be out there 25 to 30 plays a game, period. If he can't do it, then we're going to keep having these issues. You can't run the clock down when we don't have a running game. Let's talk about that play right there, because some people said that's a play that could have cost us the game. What do you think about that safety that Goff gave up?
I mean, if you look at the replay, I mean, didn't he was already in shotgun. It looks like he took like a 4-step drop almost. And he was sitting in the pocket for a while. So I don't know. I mean, honestly, Goff knows he's not mobile. So why you drop that? You're not Lamar Jackson. So why you drop that far back in the end zone? I don't know. There was nowhere for you to go. I think he could have did anything else. I mean, you could have just threw the ball away. I mean, it would have been better than that. But I don't think that was really the backbreaker, because really the Lions still would have lost. They still would have lost by a point if we're accounting for that Tyler Bass field goal at the end of the game. I feel like the backbreaker was that coaching decision in the second half. And I guess, when did Badgley miss that field goal? Was that on this drive?
I want to say that it was in the third quarter. It might have been this actual drive, right? Yes, it was. I remember, because it would have been 1970 if he would have made it. So a lot of people, some other Lions fans were saying that they thought that it was the safety that Jared Goff took. They thought it was Badgley missing the field goal coming up right here. And it was Austin Bryant's pass interference when we had them at 3rd and 10. Now, not saying that the Bills couldn't have still got the first down, but it would have been 3rd and 10 instead of automatic first down. And then they go ahead and score. And see, the Bills made mistakes, little things like that. The ball hitting Stephon Diggs in the knee. We have to take advantage of that. We have the boys have to, they have to take advantage of miscues like that, and you have to make them pay. Now, then you got Khalif Raymond right here with this great return that would have put us back in range to score. You have to make these drives, and you have to make these things count. Now, yeah, it could be true that the safety was not the biggest, issue, but it probably did play a part. Now, going forward right here into the fourth quarter, what did you see in the fourth quarter, 1914, that maybe could have been different?
Um, honestly, I don't really know. I think the Lions played it pretty well. I really think this game goes down to the last few minutes if we are just looking at it from the context of the fourth quarter. Um, Chark did have this really good grab right here, but um, I don't know. They just have to get better communication. Like I think this was his first game in like about 5 weeks, so I don't know. I really don't know what else they could have did, to be honest. It was just there's nothing else they could have did on defense because Stephon Diggs was just cooking those bum corners. I mean, they just had to get better players. Like I thought the play calls were really good. They just have to execute. Um, I mean, I see why they're not spying because I don't really know who I don't know who they could really spy with. Um, and also, I understand why they're playing off with the corners because they know that these corners can't man up. But then at the end of the game, they know that the corners can't man up, and then they manned up Stephon Diggs on one of the last plays of the game, and then Stephon Diggs cooked them. So I don't know. It's coaching mistakes that the Lions unfortunately can't make. When you're a team that doesn't have superstar players, you can't make mistakes at all. And the Bills can. So that's just my main takeaway.
I'm gonna have to agree with you on that. Exactly. Well said. When you are the Lions, when you're a team that's trying to learn how to win, you're trying to change the culture, you absolutely cannot make mistakes. And I think that's why some of the Lions fans were very frustrated with what happened, is because it was mistakes. There was another one right there. I'm not saying that would have been an easy catch or easy throw, but I'm saying that you have to make the throw and put it. Khalif Raymond is a fast, but he's a fast short receiver. You have to put that ball where it pretty much is going to hit him in the chest. You can't expect him to go up and catch it and come down with it. There are the little mistakes like that. And as we look at this fourth quarter, we kind of can break this down as it goes. I mean, we're up three. This is what people are saying. Big plays right there. Another one. Who was that? Is that nope? That was Mike Hughes. I'm gonna say, is that Will Harris again? Yes, he tried to jump up and make the play, but he needed another step. If he would have got that extra step, maybe, just maybe, he would have been able to knock the ball down. And the defensive line has actually been holding up pretty well. Hutchinson is getting double teamed. We were watching the game together. We noticed that more. They start out with one, but then another guy comes up and chips him. So it is true that they are taking our best pass rusher and putting two bodies on them. Aleem McNeil has definitely been doing his things, stuffing up the middle, even bringing pressure up the middle. But right there, that's one I'm gonna let you speak on that, because that's one of the plays that we were talking about right there.
Yeah, so basically, it's really just a simple slant, and this is really just knowing the game, I guess, for the corner. Stephon Diggs, it looked like he was lined up way out there. I mean, he probably had like 4 to 5 yards. He was probably 4 to 5 yards away from the sideline. The receiver should have fully expected some kind of inside breaking route, so he already should have had it. He already should have had his leverage ready. He didn't look ready at all. Stephon Diggs hit him with that simple slant on the inside. I'm sure he hit him with a little shoulder fake to the outside, and he cooked him with the easy touchdown. Um, Maybe a guy like Jeff Okuda would have been able to cover that better, but I guess we'll never know until we see him next week.
Agreed. And as we're looking at this final drive, it's just hard to believe. I mean, look at the time. I mean, 30 seconds. It's just hard to believe that the boys couldn't hold on for this long. 32 seconds. Third and one. Here's the play right here. Here's the play right here that everybody is up in arms about. Up high to Chalk Jr. and we still don't know if it was a bad throw or a bad pass. Some said that it was a bad pass. It was supposed to be a back shoulder play. Some said that it was supposed to be deep, so it was on Jared Goff. I don't know who it was on, but 23 seconds left. Let's go over this last drive, son. Tell me what you.
And so, I mean, basically, like I was saying earlier, the Lions were playing off of Stephon Diggs the whole time. And I don't know if this was like a man's own concept, what they were doing with him earlier, but for some reason, whatever corner was on him, he pressed him up. Stephon Diggs had him cooked by about 2 feet. And it really wasn't even a hard throw for Josh Allen to make because all of Stephon Diggs had to do was catch it with his body because Kirby Joseph was not going to be able to come in on time because, Josh Allen is a good quarterback and he threw it right in Stephon Diggs' chest. So all Stephon Diggs had to do was hold on to the ball, and we know he can do that. So, but before that, I have to say, DJ Chark, I'm looking back on that. He should have made the catch. We've seen it countless times. Aaron Rodgers literally did the same exact thing with Christian Watson. He threw it underneath. Christian Watson pushed off on the corner, and he caught the ball. It's just a play you have to make, and I guess DJ Chark couldn't do it. I don't know.
Yeah, I would agree. These guys have been in the league too long to not know the play, to not know what's coming, and there it was. Now, some people felt that some Lions fans felt like the Lions could have ran it on third down, take your chance on trying to get the first down, run it, get out of bounds possibly, and maybe you still have a couple of plays left to try to score a touchdown because when you were playing a team like the Buffalo Bills, you have to beat them. Some people felt that the Lions were playing for the tie and instead of trying to play for the win. And some people felt like maybe it was coaching mistakes. Maybe it did go back to that play, that clock management at the end of the first half. Maybe it did come down to that 3rd and 1 where they designed a pass play when it maybe should have been a run play. I don't know, but I'll give some final thoughts on it. My final thoughts are is that they played good. This was a game that most of us didn't expect them to win. Vegas had the Lions losing by 9.5 points, and they end up losing by 3. They were in the game the entire time. And I know we all get sick of that, but we have to start somewhere. So with that said, let's look at next week, 9 days from now, at home against the Jaguars. And son, I was telling you the other day that they had a projection the other day that said how the Lions can go 9-8 and probably still make the playoffs. They said that the 3 games at home against the Jags, at the Panthers, home against the Bears, those are must-win games. That gets them to 7 wins. And then the projection said that they needed to go 2-4 out of the game they just lost yesterday, home against the Bills, at the Jets, home against the Vikings, home against the Packers. I'm sorry, at Packers. That the Lions need to go at least 2-4 in those games. I'm gonna be honest. This is not me being a blind Lions fan. I really think that still can happen. 6 games to go. Basically, they have to go 5-1. Is really what they're saying the rest of the way. I think that it's possible. What about you?
I mean, I definitely think it's capable. I definitely think they're capable of it. If I'm being honest, I think the Lions are a wild card team right now. Their record just isn't there yet. I really think. I mean, I agree with you. I'm not trying to sound like a biased fan or anything, but I think if they did make the playoffs, I think they would be able to play in a good game. I think they would have a chance of winning a playoff game, maybe. But they have to get there first. I do think they can go 5-1 or 6-0. They've showed us countless times that they have the talent to do it. They played a good game with the Eagles. They played a good game with the Vikings. They played with the Bills. These teams are a lot lesser than them, well, except for the Vikings again. They can beat these teams. They just have to keep executing how they have, and we're going to get Jameson Williams back too. They just have to keep doing what they've been doing, and they're definitely going to win these games.
I would agree. I do. I absolutely think that they can win not only 5-1, but there's a chance they could go 6-1. I believe that the Jaguars at home is a very winnable game. Excuse me. I believe the week after that, home against the Vikings, is going to be a tough game, but winnable. We see how they played the Vikings in week 3. Then after that, I want to say they are at Jets, at Panthers. I want to say back to back. At Jets, at Panthers, and then they go the week after Christmas. I think New Year's Day. I want to say home against the Bears, and then at the Packers. I believe that they can win all. I believe that they can actually win all 6 of those games, but let's try to get at least 5 of those games. If we can go 5-1, but it's going to start next week with the Jaguars. I'm gonna do my way early prediction. The Lions are gonna bounce back. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Jamison Williams with a couple of play packages. Maybe not 100% yet, but maybe he gets to play some plays here and there. I think that the Lions can beat the Jaguars 27. I'm going to say 27-13. But except for ETN honestly has been running like a beast. He's a problem. But I think that if the Lions can do, if the Lions can hold down Saquon Barkley, they can hold down ETN, even though he's playing really good. I think the Lions do get the win next week and they move up to 5-7. What say you?
Yeah, I was gonna say a similar kind of score. I was gonna say I at least expect the Lions to beat the Jaguars by 10. Honestly, I mean, they're it's not like they're the Bills or even a team like that. I think the Lions match up with them pretty well. So yeah, I think the Lions they've been putting up consistent. I think they can win 24-10. I think they win this game by at least a touchdown though. I think they win it pretty comfortably.
Okay, I would agree with that too. At least by a touchdown. I believe, yeah, 7, 8 points, maybe 7 to 10 points. The Lions will get the win. Well, Lions fans, we saw what a lot of you had to say on social media yesterday, but let us know what you think. If you haven't already, like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so we can keep talking Lions football. Other than that, that's all we have. Hope you all had a good Thanksgiving. That's all we got. Peace.
Peace.